Shalom. It's the first time I'm trying this stream, so you have to bear with me if there's some glitches and so forth. But all praise to the Most High that we'll be take it to another level. As always, I'm gonna start with Colossians 3:17. And whatever you do in word or deed, do all. Give me thanks to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for everything, for he's worthy to be praised for everything. And I'll come to exalt him highly, most certainly, because he needs to be exalted, because he's not talked about enough in this world. He's recognized as Mother Nature, La Nina, El Nina, global warming, hurricane named after somebody, tornado named after somebody, when it's him. And I think it's wrong and disrespectful to the Most High. Let me show you what his name is, what he says his name is, so you understand. Go to Exodus 34:14. Just so you know. It says, for thou shalt worship no other power, no other idol, for the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Understand this. I'm going to read to you again, just in case, because everything going to start with him. You know, you can look at yourself as something special in this world if you want to. Remember this. It's clear. Do it need a breakdown? But thou shalt worship no other God, no other idol, no other power, for the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Understand this. The Most High name is jealous. Now, when you look up Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, the very first chapter in the Apocrypha, go to Wisdom of Solomon 1. And we're going to read verse 10 and 11. And it reads, for the ear of jealousy, hear that? The ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. Because, you know, that's what we did in the wilderness as the 12 tribes of Israel, murmuring all the time. And we think we murmuring at man, but we really murmuring at the Most High. Especially the men of the Most High that's really got to deal with giving an account for their actions with the people. This is what it says. For the ear of jealousy, that's the Most High's ears. He can hear everything. Hear all things, see? Hear everything. And the noise of murmurings is not hid. It's not hid from him. Therefore, beware of murmuring. Talking on your breath and talking about the things that are not profitable for you, especially when you're going against someone that's got to go to the Most High to give an account for you, and you make their life, they can't do it in joy and happiness. It says unprofitable for you. Those that are causing those that are bringing the word of the Most High diligently to not do it with joy, it tells you. That's why I say people's murmuring. Moses going to the Most High, coming back to Israel murmuring. Moses felt like we was going to kill him. He had to get up, he flat lying on the ground, crying to the Most High. Hey, man, they're going to kill him and Aaron. They're going to kill us. And it's worse now than it was then with our people. We got to be concerned about them more than anybody else. Because we got the children of the Most High, we got the children of the devil. And the children of the devil are those that don't love their brother or love their people. What I look like saying, I'm a man of the Most High. And the Most High said, Jacob have I loved, and here I am going about my day hating on the ones that the Most High said he loved. And I'm concentrating on that. That takes an evil spirit to do that. That's why I say they're the children of the devil. Notice I hear the murmuring though. This is what he say. Therefore beware of murmurings, which is unprofitable. See? It's unprofitable. And refrain your tongue, what you say, from backbiting. But there is no word so secret that shall go for naught. There's no word, nothing you're going to say that's going to go for nothing. Believe this. Ain't nothing you're going to say going to go for nothing. You're going to give an account for every word that we speak. In the mouth that bellieth slayeth the soul, man. Talking all that stuff, man. Don't even know who you're talking about, man. Don't even know. Really, in essence, who the Most High is. Because it's not enough talk about him. Ecclesiasticus 23, start with him. And 19. Ecclesiasticus 23 and 19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High, whose name is jealous, are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. That's what I serve. He said his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Woo. Beholding all the ways of men, everything that we do, beholding all the ways of men. We can't even look at the sun. We can't look at one sun. Yes, let's more 10,000 times brighter than the sun. His eyes are beholding all the ways of men, and you women too. And considering the most secret parts, those you don't see me people, he see you. And it's being written in the books. It's being written in the books. Everything that we do is being written in the books. And when the judgment come, they're going to be open. They're going to be saying, like, you thought this way. This is what you thought on this day, this hour, this minute, this second, this millisecond. All the way down to a millisecond. Come on. Every day of our life, that's why it's very important. Don't think that whatever you're doing is in the dark. Everything will come to the light. Ecclesiasticus 17 and 15. Their ways, everything we do, our ways, are ever before him, Mr. Jealous himself. Their ways are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. That's why I said the secret parts, the things people doing, thinking they're doing in secret. Most of you, man, that mercy and grace, I'm gonna tell y'all, is being lifted up. You better take an adventure of the destruction that's happening in this world while you can be blessed wherever you are, especially here in America. When you look at these other countries, the destruction, the disaster that's going through, and here you are in your comfort zone, not knowing that he's going to destroy this place. He's coming to get this place. All the wickedness that's going on here, that's against his law of life. Come on. You think in your wildest dreams they could do the things that they're doing and promoting? Remember Sodom and Gomorrah, he said. Moses said, remember Miriam. When he turned her leprous. Tell us that in scripture. Hey, y'all better understand, man. He said, their ways are ever before him and shall not be hid from his eyes. Verse 17. Verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge, the elect of the Most High, and the law of life for an inheritance. Hear that? The law of life. The law is of life. That's why Look at Baruch. Baruch, the 4th chapter, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. Hear that? The law that the Most High wrote with his fingers endureth forever. All they that keep it, all they that keep the laws of the Most High shall come to life. That's why you can think you're doing right if you want to. You better know you're doing right. For real, for real. All that keep it, that's the law. That's why when y'all try and separate the law and the commandments, why did it say them? I mean, come on, I know a little bit of English. I know enough that it should say them if there's two separate things. This is what it says. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it, all they that keep the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, shall come to life. Shall come to life. But such as leave it shall die. See? Shall die. And that's not where you want to be at. Look. Look at Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day, this very day that we live in this world, every last one of us, talking to the Israelites. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, Most High. We are yet this day, this very day, in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. A reproach and a curse. Wonder why we can't come together with all the millions of dollars and to billions of dollars. We can't come together to even get a grocery store and compete with Walmart and Amazon or anyone, any particular corporation, because we are still for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments over and over again. You work, what happens? They take theirs off the top. Taxes, tax this, tax this, tax that. They get theirs off the top. Payments. Got to pay mortgage, got to pay car note, got to pay rent, got to pay everything. Payments. According to all the iniquities of our fathers. We paying for breaking the Most High's laws from what our forefathers did. You see, that's why the Most High is just. Look at Lamentations. Hold that. Get Lamentations. We're going to come back here. Lamentations 5 and 7. And it's sad because when you look at where we at as a people and what we actually doing and where it is that I started off with, and that is the Most High. It's all about him. Lamentations 5 and 7. Listen. Our fathers have sinned. That's our forefathers have sinned. They broke the Most High's law. Sin is defined in 1 John 3 and 4. 1 John 3 and 4. Our fathers have sinned. So what is sin? But see, this is a problem because a lot of you that go to church, you're not being edified with what this Bible is talking about. Or precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, and there a little. These preachers would be challenging us about this Bible, what this Bible is talking about, and who it's talking to. Now, they believe so-called in the New Testament, but the New Testament is only dealing with what it is that those that walk the earth, that any scripture is written about in the New Testament, only had the law and the prophets. That's all they read. That's all they had to read. What is sin? 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law. Hear that? Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law. The law. The laws that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. And the definition is right here in the New Testament. That the preachers so-called bring it to the people that's in Christianity. Not realizing, if they do realize, most people that don't know the Bible will not realize that they only had the law and the prophets, anybody that walked the earth. Even Mashiach Shai, when he stood up to read in the temple, what did he read? Revelations. He read Paul's writings that y'all believe in so heavily and not knowing. Peter's writing. Peter was a disciple. He wasn't even an apostle yet. He was still a student, learning under him. He told Peter, hey, get thee behind me, Satan. I got to go through what I go through. I came here for my purpose. Peter was like, yeah, you're not going to have it. What? You ain't stopping the work of the Most High, man. He said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Listen, 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin, we define as sin, transgresses also the law. The same law that y'all say that we're not under. For sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is the transgression of the law. And it's like, you know, I have to put it bluntly so you understand. You're telling the Most High, I ain't got to do what you tell me to do. That's our problem now. While we're in a condition, while we in a reproachful and dealing with these curses. Look at Exodus 31 and 18. I want you to deal with the Most High on this. All you say we ain't under the law, we ain't got to follow what he say do. You deal with the Most High. Put your hand right in with the Most High saying. Exodus 31 and 18. And he gave unto Moses. Moses had communed with him for 40 days and 40 nights. And he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communion with him upon Mount Sinai, 40 days and 40 nights, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. I'm reading you again. You're going to have to deal with the Most High on this. I'm telling y'all. I'm just here to warn you. And he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communion with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. So you telling me that his work is in vain? It don't matter. It don't matter what the Most High telling you he did. I better understand, man. Look at go to the next chapter, Exodus 32 and verse 16. And the tables were the work of the Most High. These two tables that he wrote the commandments on, and the tables were the work of the Most High. That's his commandments that he gave us, the Israelites. And the tables, those two tables that Moses had, and the tables were the work of the Most High. And the writing was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the tables. The Most High was going to put us to death, get rid of everybody, because we built a calf. And all the plagues that he brought upon the Egyptians, like you're gonna see plagues on this earth now. He bringing plagues, y'all. What you see on this earth happening now is from the Most High, but he ain't not getting no credit for nothing. Well, I'm so fervent in my bringing forth him first before anything or anyone or no matter who care, it don't matter. You're going to bow down now. You're going to bow down later. You're going to bow down to the Most High. Understand, overstand this. That's why I'm bringing him first. Because Israel has become an idol. You didn't even realize it. You're Israelite. You're Israelite. You're Israelite. You're Israelite. Okay, you're Israelite. Now what? Now what? What are you going to do now? Are you going to learn some precepts? You better be learning about the Most High. I'm telling y'all. Understand, overstand this. Look. Look at Exodus 32 and 7. So you can see what I'm saying. Let's see let's start with verse 6. Let's see. Then they built this calf, y'all. A molten calf. Verse 6. Exodus 32. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play around this calf they made. This is who brought us out of Egypt. This is who brought the plagues upon the Egyptians. And didn't touch us. Come on now. His name is jealous. He have a reason to be jealous. Listen. And the Most High said to Moses, go, get thee down. For that people, talk about us, the 12 tribes of Israel, because all 12 tribes of Israel were in the wilderness with him, which thou brought them out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a golden calf and have worshipped it. And Moses had told us, look, hold that. And worship it. Moses had told us in the 10 Commandments, which is in Exodus 20th chapter. He told us this, man. Exodus 20. Moses said, let's start at verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying to the 12 tribes of Israel, I am the Most High, your power. Thy power is your power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods, no other idols, no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make of thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. This is what it says. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. This is very important. This is worshiping them. Nor serve them. That's worshiping them. Just what they did. Our ancestors. For I, the Most High, that power, am a jealous power. Remember, his name is jealous. Visiting iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Here we are dealing with the punishment, the curses, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. We the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy to thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You hear that, preachers? Ain't no mercy coming to you. You could be the least in the kingdom of heaven, Mashiach said, and showing mercy to thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Come on, man. That's the 10 commandments right there. How we love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and how we love each other as ourselves. Come on, ask the Israelites. This is what the Most High told Moses. Exodus 32, verse 8 again. They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it. He already told us what to do. 12 chapters before this. The time period I can't say, but we heard this. Just like you heard it, they heard it. Made a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed it to thereunto and said, these be thy gods. Hear that? These be thy gods. These be their powers. These be your idols, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. 2/3 of our people ain't good for nothing, then, now, and forever. Why the Most High going to eradicate them off the earth, man. And the Most High said unto Moses, I have seen this people. You better hear what he's saying. And behold, it is a stiff-necked people unto this day. Now, therefore, let me alone. This is what he said. Leave me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them. That means he's going to kill every last one of us. And I will make of thee a great nation. You better understand. See, y'all think y'all that because we done been called, because you can't say you're chosen. I ain't found nobody can tell me what number they are, the 144,000. I'm talking about you high-minded Israelites, preachers, or whoever you are. What number are you? The 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, or the remnant of any other nation? You say you're a Gentile. What number are you of the Gentiles? Since you ain't an Israelite, can't tell me that either, right? But you put yourself there. You better think about it, man. Hear what the Most High said? And we got to go through him. He ain't going through no other way but through him, period. This is what we got to deal with. When you see a hurricane, that's what you got to deal with. You in the midst of it. Oh, you going to be able to deal with it? A tornado, that's the Most High. You in the midst of it. Oh, you going to be able to deal with it? Earthquake, you going to be able to deal with it? Tidal wave, you going to be able to deal with it? Volcano eruption, you going to be able to deal with it? That's his wrath. But he said, you have not been judged. You understand? All the things we see on this earth, he said, you have not been judged. That's deep. You have not known his judgment. He's just playing around right now. Because you understand, this is all about him. This ain't about us or you or anybody else, man. It's all about him. It's all about him. Or prove me wrong. I'm waiting. Prove me wrong. If you think it's not about him, you think about you. You see what we did? We made a calf, a golden calf. He said, this who brought us out of Egypt. And we was crying about to lose our mind when Pharaoh was chasing us with the chariots. Hollering and screaming, we gonna die, we gonna die. What did the Most High do? Drown him in the Red Sea. We seen their bodies on the shore. And we get in the wilderness and act like this. Man. Here we are now. It's worse. Master said, look, don't get it twisted. Okay, that was back then. This is what we got to look forward to. Like he said, stiff-necked people. Matthew 24:21. In our time, what we waiting on? Get ready for this. But then shall be great tribulation. Matthew 24:21. But then, in our time that we living in, shall be great tribulation. Not just tribulation, but great tribulation. Listen at this. Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. What's that going to be like? I can't imagine nothing beyond something that's worse than 8 people living through the flood and killing everybody. You understand this too? It was more people that lived in the prior lives than live now. We got about 7.7 billion people. More people lived in the past than living now. Understand this. That's why he said, but then, in our time we live in, shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world. Salakia, excuse me. To this time, no, nor ever shall be. And people playing around thinking that they could just roll like they want to roll, man, and not fearing the Most High. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. I'm gonna read you again. The days we're living in now, he said, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And the elect are the Israelites. And we know the elect are the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. So, I mean, they selling, someone said a penny for a cheeseburger, 1 penny for a cheeseburger. They said it's not meat. They said, I seen $1. It then went from $1 to 50 cents. People got money, don't care about no penny for no burger. People got money, don't care about no $1 for no burger. People got money, ain't think about no 50 cents for no cheeseburger. You better understand, man. You better not be buying that stuff. Gas out here costs $6.80 a gallon. And you're going to sell a cheeseburger for a penny? A cheeseburger for $1? Come on, do your math. $1 ain't even a quarter of a gallon of gas. Think about it. Come on, man. Better wake up. He said if he ain't made a time short, would no flesh be saved. When you understand Proverbs 16:4, the Most High said, the Most High created all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. Come on. They got their purpose. However he used them to do it, he's doing it. And they doing just what he wanted them to do. Point blank, no doubt about it. It is what it is. Look what the Most High said, told Moses. Exodus 32:9, and the Most High said unto Moses, I have seen this people. Talk about us, the Israelites. And behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked people, he said. Now, therefore, let me alone. He said, leave me alone. He said, therefore, let me alone. Man. That my wrath may wax hot against them, against us. We the children of Israel. The stiff-necked ones that think you all that. Boasting on yourself. Thinking you all that. Most High name is jealous. Ain't nobody above him. You better be learning how to say all praise to the Most High. I tell you that. Get off yourself in hell, in these curses, and thinking we all that in hell. Come on, man. This is what he said. My wrath may wax hot against them, against us, the children of Israel, and that I may consume them. You gotta understand, man. It don't take nothing for the Most High to consume. He said, go consume them. We came out of Egypt in captivity, man, 600,000 men with our women and children. He's going to consume them just like that. Probably faster than that. He said, leave me alone, man, that my wrath may wax hot, that he could consume us, man, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee. This Moses, that thee is Moses. He said, I will make of thee a great nation. He said, I'll make of you, Moses, a great nation. This is what I'm talking about. The Most High. Now you say you can't do it. Here we are in our wildest dreams thinking that we are that because we've been called. I hope none of y'all saying y'all the chosen. Ain't nobody told me what number they are, the 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel, or not mentioning what number they are, the 1/3, men, women, or children. I ain't heard nobody say that. What number are you? Since you already you there, you should know what number you are. Bam. Some kind of way. The scriptures say, dare not make thyself one of the number. So that's why you don't say a number, but yet and still you put yourself in there like, this is what I'm going to do. What you going to do when you get there, when in there, how you know you're going to make it? Dare not make thyself one of the numbers. It said the righteous scarcely going to be saved. When you understand spiritually how wretched, how stiff-necked we are, including me in that we and you in that we, then you understand how the Most High wants us to be. Not the fact that, oh, I did this, I did that, I did that, I did that. You look for escalades or exaltation from people. Caring about you exalting me. I want you to exalt the Most High, because he haven't been exalted. Y'all talking about yourself. That's why you are Israelite. You become an idol. Yourself. You say, thou shalt have no other idol before me. Now I can prove it, show you over and over again, man, what I'm saying, or prove me wrong. I'm speaking in the spirit of the Most High, and I know that he's not being elevated. He's not being talked about. His name is jealous, and he's gonna kill a whole lot of people. Like he said, one for the elect's sake, and who are the elect that already died before you even thought about, before we was even thought about. They didn't have to come back to this wicked world. Like Ezra didn't have to come back. Daniel didn't have to come back. How many people? That's only so many people that we know that most allowed their names to be in this book. But there was more people that live than live now in the past that didn't have to come back here. Here we are, thinking we got him. Most High got it. Most High got to do nothing for us. Hear what he said. I'm gonna read you again. Let this sink into your membranes. All you that think that you already put yourself in the kingdom, or whatever you done did. This is what it said. You say, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Talking about us, Israelites. Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I may make I will make of thee. That's Moses, a great nation. So you gonna tell me he need us? I'm reading again. He said he gonna consume all the ones that was in the wilderness, Israelites, everybody, and that I may consume them. And I, that's the Most High, that I is the Most High, will make of thee, of Moses, a great nation. Come on. He was getting ready to do this. That's why you got to look at least what I look at. I look at, okay, what makes him not want to consume us now? A very prideful and stiff-necked people that didn't even talk about him. If that's the case, send me some videos of the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. I ain't talking about the Most High talking to us. I'm talking about the Most High, the Most High, the Most High, the characteristics of the Most High, 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 the Most High. You know. And then we can go to Mashiach Yahushua. I ain't got to say nothing about Israel. That's all everybody talk about, Israel. We Israelites, we Hebrew Israelites, this, that, and the third 12 tribes of Israel, which is great. But once you know you're Israelite, now what? Now what? We got to come back to the Most High. You better be talking about him. I started out, showed you his name is jealous. People ain't got nothing to say about him. Everybody got something to say about their own worlds. Everybody got to talk about this, their own worlds. What about how they talking about the Most High? You just listen. You're like, wow, man. And it's not nothing new. So listen, what Moses did. And Moses besought the Most High his power and said, Most High, Most High, Most High, why does thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth. Face of the earth, turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. This Moses crying to the Most High. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. Moses said that's his name forever, the memorial to all generations. Thy servants, to whom thou swear by thine own self. See, you look for solutions. These are the things that I look at. Nobody can't say on this that worked. And I see many things that worked. So that's why I look at bringing forth in this truth what worked. You talking about solution? This is a solution right here. Say whatever you want to say. This is a solution right here. What Moses is saying to the Most High, crying to the Most High, saying this, he get ready to wipe us out. He said, just slay them in the mountain. He said, hey, look, man, you're going to allow the Egyptians. This is what they're going to say. They brought us out into this wilderness. He brought us out to this wilderness to consume us. And to consume them from the face of the earth. He said, turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and said unto them, look, you got to understand, man, Moses, most likely to say, kill, and just put Moses to death right there. Talking to him like this, Moses speaking to the Most High, but he reminding him of what has been said. Well, we can actually look at what he has said and say the same thing. We can say the same. We can say this right here. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, as Jacob name being changed to Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and said unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed. The seed is the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and they shall inherit it forever. Because you know Moses is just what? He just Levi. That is one tribe, right? And the Most High repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. Tell me that in a solution. And the Most High repented. See that? The Most High repented. He relented from the harm he was going to do to us. And the Most High repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written in both his sides, both their sides. So they're written on both sides. On the one side and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of the Most High. That's the commandments. That's the laws. And the tables were the work of the Most High. And the writing was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the tables. Now, you're going to say that ain't important? Preachers, anybody else that want to make light of what the Most High did, the work of the Most High, He just said, the writing of the Most High, the work of the Most High, yo. Go back to Baruch, the 3rd chapter, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Yes, we are. Yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. He told us in Deuteronomy 28:64, he's going to scatter us among all these nations. And when we go among these nations, we're going to serve wood and stone, all these different religions. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse. We fit all those curses in Deuteronomy 28:15-68. Nobody else can say they fit those curses. If you say that you are the Israelites, you are the Jews, you are Jewish, you are whoever you say you are, the Israelites fit those curses in Deuteronomy 28:15-68. And to be subject to payments, paying out this, that, and the third, everywhere you look around, we got to put out payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers. That's why I went to Lamentations 5 and 7. So our fathers have sinned, and we have carried their iniquity. We have borne their iniquity. I mean, what they did, we paying for it. Like everybody got to pay for what their ancestors did when the judgment comes. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Most High our power. That's why I say, hear, Israel, what? The commandments of life. See, some people think, oh, the commandments, is not of life. The commandments of life. That's why Baruch said, hey, you keep the commandments, you're going to come to life. If you don't, you're going to die. And that death is being thrown in the lake of fire. Look, hear Israel, Baruch 3 and 9. Hear Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. That's why I tell you, man, we got to follow what he says to do. Or we're going to have to deal with the Most High in a real way. And it's not something that, you really want to deal with. Deuteronomy 15 and go to Deuteronomy 15th chapter. Verse 5. Deuteronomy 15 and 5. He said, only if thou carefully hearkenest unto the voice of the Most High thy power, that's your power, Israelites, to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day. For the Most High, your power, that's thy is your power, 12 tribes of Israel, blesses thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. This is what he say. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. So you see, we cause ourselves to be in the condition that we're in, because everything that we're dealing with is opposite of this, isn't it? Where our banks at? And thou shalt lend unto many nations. Where our banks at? Where our mortgage companies at? Where we lending? Where our credit unions at? That we lending to many nations. But thou shalt not borrow. We just read about payments. He told us, hey, you hearken to me, you do what I say do. We're going to lend to many nations, and we ain't going to borrow. We're not going to borrow. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. That's what he told us. See, but what we do, Daniel's 9:11. Daniel's 9:11. You know, I have to bring it like this because our people, we're so prideful. We think the Most High rolling with us in our pride, and all we talk about is I, me, I, me. Daniel's 9:11. Yeah, all Israel has transgressed thy law. You hear that? Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law. That thy is your, that's the Most High's law. Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. That us is the 12 tribes of Israel. And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we, you hear that? This is key too. Daniel is a righteous man. But he's saying because we have sinned against him. It's very important because this is spiritual. Just like it's spiritual, what you see Moses saying to the Most High to make the Most High repent of just killing every last one of us and raising a nation out of Moses. That we is very important. But if you put yourself in a position whereas everybody gonna follow you and everybody's saying and feeling that they're already in the kingdom. They're already, when they get there, this is what I'm gonna do, this, that. I was there years and years ago. So I see it, well, I can talk about it because I repented from it, realizing, dang, I ain't made it nowhere. Where we at? Where we at? Look, Isaiah 9:16. Isaiah 9:16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. You see? He's looking at the leaders because we know our leaders of the past brought us to the point where we at now. That's what Lamentations 5:7 is saying. They didn't care. While we have to care about the future for we as Israelites, because the future is the kingdom. This will be the last time we have, or you have, to be able to be here on this earth and get it together. The very last time. For the leaders of this people cause them to err. There's a whole lot of folly and madness going on in our nation. Why I say the leaders of our people cause us to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Because it's you can't be prideful. Pride is hateful before the Most High in man. You can't be prideful in this. Because remember when we started, the Most High name is jealous. 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 And he said, I'm going to melt you. Because he's coming with fire. But he's also full of mercies and graces and long suffering for those that are trying their best to do what he say do and keep his commandments, keep his laws. You can't be partial to this, man. The law was our schoolmaster, meaning we learned the law to come to Mashiach Yahushua. What did he do? He didn't sin. He didn't break the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why I say, therefore, the Most High shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve. You're gonna get what you deserve on their fatherless, those that father has died, and widows, women that their husband have died. For everyone is a hypocrite. It's cold, ain't it? Everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer. And every mouth speaketh folly. Hear that? Every mouth speaketh folly. I don't care about what you're talking about. You're talking about him, first and foremost. Or prove me wrong. Prove me whatever you talk about is more important than the Most High. That's what it says, folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Man. Better hear what he's saying, y'all. Because I know the future. And you that don't know, or you think you know, you better look at what's going on right now around this world. See people hollering, they're losing their life. It was like thousands of people just died. The Most High, the one that have the issue from death. Thousands of people just died in a flood. Thousands. For wickedness burneth as the fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifted up of smoke. You understand, man? Do y'all understand who I'm talking about? I don't think people understand. Y'all have made up your own power. Ain't the power that I read in this Bible that I'm reading about through the wrath of the Most High power of hosts. Hear that? Through the wrath of the Most High power of hosts. That's power of armies to bring his wrath, his indignation, his fury, his anger. Is in the look through the wrath of the Most High power of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. Look. And the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. You have to understand, just the Most High that I serve. Y'all can come up with somebody else you want to. He know about what you think. Remember, he know the thoughts. He know what you gotta say. Y'all better come back to him. You better learn about him. Point blank. Ezekiel 22 and 20. He said the people is like fuel for the fire. The people is like fuel for the fire. So what do you think that mean? Let's look at the idea of what it means. Ezekiel 22 and 20. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin in the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it. You blow on a fire, get hotter and hotter and hotter. The temperature rises and rises and rises to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger, and in my fury, that my is the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's a name forever and memorial to all generations. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. This don't bring the fear of the Most High into you. This ain't scaring you. This ain't making you afraid. Don't wait till he visit you. It's too late then. Like about Shadow said, hey, ain't nobody can get you out of his hand. You said in Hebrews 10:31, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. He said, gonna melt you. Verse 21. Yeah, I will gather you. Let me tell you, the people will be fuel for the fire. Make it mean something different. Yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath. Fuel for the fire. He's blowing on that fire. The Most High blowing on the fire like a tornado wind, like a hurricane wind, making it hotter than you ever can imagine. We can imagine. Yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof, as silver is melted. People, fuel for the fire, as silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know, I love what he said, and you shall know that I, the Most High, have poured out my fury upon you. What you gonna do with that? What you gotta say for that? Man, you better know one thing. Uh-oh. Talking to me. All praise the Most High. That was time. Ecclesiastes 12:13. When things like this happen, I got to give all praise and glory to the Most High, because I know, listen what it says. Ecclesiastes 12:13. I can't take no credit for nothing. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Better be afraid of him. You better be scared of him. You hear what he just said? Some of y'all might went over your head and you think you still gonna be operating the way you operate. You better change, man. That's what being born again means. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, his laws. For this is the whole duty of man. Why you say that? So y'all can think y'all get away with something if you want to. It says, for the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. That's everything that we have done. That's being written in the books. He's going to bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. Remember we say, you see the secret parts. Remember we said that. So we're going to bring all the secret things that you've done into judgment. That's those you don't see me people. You're going to bring every secret thing into judgment, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Now, what's good? We know the Most High is good, first and foremost. And what else is good? Whether it be good. So if you think you can get away with not keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, you preachers, and telling people that we're not under the law and they're Israelites, you got to pay for that. As it is written, Romans 7:12. Wherefore the law is holy. That same law we read that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. So that's what's good. So if you don't do it, then you're evil. And just in case you don't know, you're going to know what these scriptures are talking about is so important. Look at, like it says, that judgment, 2 Corinthians 5:10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, because Most High has allowed him to do the judgment. We must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. And we just read in Ecclesiastes 12:13. Like I'll tell y'all, they had to go by the law and the prophets. Let me just prove that. Just showing you. Go to one scripture is in Acts 15:21. Show you what they read when they synagogue every Sabbath day. St. John, I'm on Acts 15:21. But Moses, that same Moses we read about in Exodus, for Moses of old time have in every city them that preach him. That's the laws, the commandments. When? Being read in the synagogues every Sabbath day. You see? So this is what was going on in our worlds, a world that most of us don't know about. Well, we got to learn it all over again so that we can, come back to the Most High. And the Mashiach Yahushua, who did not sin, you see. So, looking at 2 Corinthians 5 and 10, correlating right with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in his body. See, this ain't being brought out enough. We Israel, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do nothing. Guarantee you're going to do whatever you're going to do. Whoever you're talking about going to be in captivity or you're going to make the slave, man, I've been there. They might die and be wherever they at and come back and beat somebody else's slave. Now you done lied. Ain't no lies going to the kingdom. Y'all better start thinking about these things. Most High will. Be allowed to say that. If it's the Most High will. Or leave it alone. Just bring it for what it is. They're going to be Israelites, slaves, slave men, slave women, in a righteous kingdom. But you got a remnant that's every nation that's going to be in the kingdom. Somebody got to work. If we're going to have rest, somebody got to work. So they're going to be working in a righteous kingdom. Ain't going to be like the things that you see in this world. All that stuff going to be eradicated, all the evil and the madness that we're looking at right now. That ain't going to be in the kingdom. Listen, but we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good, we know what's good. The laws and the commandments of the Most High is good, or bad. Same thing is said in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. That's what I'm telling y'all. When you look at this, you'll see that there's only the law and the prophets. When you start thinking like that, you start looking at the New Testament and realize, man, they only had the law and the prophets to go by. Point blank. That's why I say, knowing therefore. If you heard anything, if you've been listening, if you ain't listening, go back and listen. Knowing therefore the terror of the Most High, the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua. He said in St. John 10 and 30, he said, I and my Father are one. You ain't running to a Mashiach Yahushua to run through the mean power that y'all say is in the Old Testament and run to him. Nah. Don't even think that. Look, Revelation 9 to 11 say he coming to judge and make war. What you do in war? You kill people. He just said people gonna be fuel for the fire. Come on. Mashiach Yahushua saying that. You think it's just a Most High? No, he said, all right, my Father are one. They agree. You ain't going against him. Like, I ain't going against him. You could go against him if you want to. Like I said, hey, play with the Most High if you want to. He said, knowing therefore the terror of the Most High, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High. And our trust also are made manifest in your consciousness, the way you think. From hearing what you heard so far, hopefully you're going to change. You'll realize this is serious, as serious can be. And we in those times, man. We in those times. You got to stop being robots and robot teas, spiritual puppets, being hypnotized, bewitched and naughtiness, man. Come on. Brain polluted and dealing with ADHD, spiritually, all these things. You got to stop, man. In spiritual darkness, come on. You got to come out of this. The only way we can come out of it is start out with the Most High. We got Day of Atonement coming up, in a few days. I think this Sabbath day, we're going to honor it. Got to cry to the Most High, man. Get ourselves right. Look, Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. And it shall come to pass, if that's a condition, Thou shalt is the future. Shout is the future. In the future, hearken, listen diligently, attentively unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, your power, Israel. Lights. To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High, thy power, your power, yours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership only to the Israelites. I command thee this day that the Most High, thy power, your power, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. You see that? And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken, meaning listen, attentively, diligently, unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, your power. But you see what we said? We already went to Daniel's 9:11. We didn't. Therefore, here we are, caught up in these curses. That's from verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken and listen to the voice of the Most High, thy power, your power, we as the 12 tribes of Israel, to observe, to do, not just listen, but to do all his commandments and his statute, which I commanded this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And when you read from verse 16 all the way to 68, there are the curses that only befell us as a people. When he chose, he'll bless us to be above all nations. We chose to be like the other nations. Well, he told us in Jeremiah 10:2, well, 1 and 2, hear you the word, Jeremiah 10:1 and 2. He said, hear you the word which the Most High spake unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen. This is the first time he told us this. He just told us to listen to his voice. And he's going to bless us to be what? Above all the nations. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. Here we are saying that we are heathen. We Gentiles. And y'all have to pay for that. When we are the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, people that the book is talking to. When you see Israel, it's talking about us, the 12 tribes of Israel. Thus said the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being named changed to Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Thus said the Most High, power. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Like right now, they're in Congress trying to decide, you know, what they're going to bring to the media concerning these IFOs. We call them identified flying objects. They call them unidentified flying objects. They call them something else now, but they still unidentified flying objects to them. That's why it says, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, you see? But what we do? That's why I say the Bible's a puzzle. Now we're going to Psalms 106 and 35, and this is what we did. But we're mingled among the heathen. That was a law the Most High gave us. Do you understand? When the Most High speak, those are laws. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. That's the law. That's the commandment. That's the orders coming from the Most High. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. Right? It says in Psalms 106 and 35, but were mingled among the heathen and learn their work. Just what he told us not to do, we did it. Wretched us, man, stiff-necked us. He said, all you need is me. Most I said, you gotta understand, you gotta feel how he feel, or you ain't about him. You ever feel the way he feel? He said, all you need is me. But we're mingled among the heathen and learn their works. So you don't need to learn nobody's works but mine. Do what I say do. follow my way. He said, no. But were mingled among the heathen, that's us, we the children of Israel, and learned their works. And they served their idols. Because he tells you in Psalms 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Most High made the heavens, serve their idols. They serve the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, the comets, you name it. Look up at the sky. Oh, there was that. Oh, praise that. He praised everything. And we did the same thing. And still this day, doing the same thing, man. Ain't no different than y'all following these religions. You won't find no religion in this Bible. Show me the Catholic Church in this Bible that Most High said, when he gave us the law, statutes, commandments in the wilderness, I want you to follow the Catholic Church. This is what I'm setting up. The Baptists, because all these churches are stealing from the Catholic Church. I don't give a dang what religion it is. Most High to give us religion. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments to go by. But we're mingled among the heathen, like he told us in Deuteronomy 28:64. We ain't follow his commandments. He gonna scatter us among these heathen, and amongst these heathen, we're gonna learn to praise their gods, wood and stone, man. Here we are, and learn their works. All these religions, man, and they serve their idols, which was a snare unto them unto this day. Yeah, look what else we did. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Man. It's hard. It's hard when I read this because it's like I'm seeing sons and daughters, little children, being sacrificed to devils. Not only that, and shed innocent blood. They shed innocent blood. Children are innocent, man. Even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, sacrificing them to these idols, man, whom they sacrifice unto the idols of Canaan. You hear that? I don't see no joy and no uplifting in us looking at the things that we've done against the Most High, against ourselves, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people. We the 12 tribes of Israel so much that he abhorred, he hated his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen unto this day. Just like we just read in Peru. In captivity. You read in the Bible, most of the time we in captivity. We always breaking the laws of the Most High. Always coming up with something, I, me, ain't him. Ain't the Most High, the Most High, the Most High, the Most High, show it to me. Bring it forth. I ain't talking about the Most High talking to Israel. Israel. I'm talking about the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. That's it. Him. And him only. I don't see it. That's why I'm bringing it forth, because it starts with him. In the end, who gonna be all in all? You? It says in the end, your name gonna be all in all. After Mashiach gonna show us as Israelites 1,000 years to bring everybody in subjection under his feet, then put your name there, and you gonna be all in all. I don't think so. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. I can't say it enough, man. From the garden, he said, all you need is me, man. I see our people right now, they just really into themselves and not realizing what's going to go down on this earth. And the Most High ruling the kingdom of men. So don't point the finger at nobody. He already told us what's going to happen. We that know. And I look at people who don't even care. It's going to be too late when you're in his hands. It tells you, Hebrews 10:31, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living power, the hand of the Most High. Look, and he gave them, verse 41, he said, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen. These other nations. So we want to learn the word of he gave us to their hands. And they that hated them, not that loved you, they didn't love us. They that hated them ruled over them. They hated us. He gave it to the nations that hated us, ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them. That's us. That them is us. In captivity over and over and over and over and over again when you read the Bible. But y'all got this love doctrine, man, or something. Ain't no love in this. Or you tell me what number you are in the kingdom. Well, we did the Most High soul. I mean, even to this day, man. I mean, I look at how he say all you need is me. And Israel became an idol. Y'all better think about what I'm saying. In the spirit of the Most High. You tell me and show me where the Most High, just he himself, nobody else, is being talked about. He said, knowing the terror of the Most High and the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua that's coming in the power of the Most High. You better think about it, man. Because I have, and I'm bringing forth what it is that I've seen that he showed me as far as where we at as a people. And it's sad because we don't get it. It's late in the game now. But it's not too late for those that's going to hear what he did. I mean, and you better know what he's going to do. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. See? Many times, listen at this, many times, not just one time, many times, did you know that we ain't been in just captivity coming over here in these slave ships? Or they're coming over here in 1492. No pressing the indigenous people here and everywhere else. He said many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel. Like some of you talking right now. Provoke the Most High with your counsel. You know what you're saying. Remember, his name is jealous. And his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man and even the secret parts. He understands and listens to your counsels. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction. See, that's what Most High told us in Hosea 5:15. I did a whole lesson on that. And it really, really moved me. He said, I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge our offense. We the Israelites acknowledge our offense and seek his face. He turned his face away from us. That's what you read about here. If you're reading along with me. And seek his face. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early. How much we got to be afflicted before we really realize and look into the scriptures and look into our story of what worked. Like you just heard a story that worked with Moses. He said, I'm going to get rid of everybody, all of us, and raise up a nation out of one man, Moses. And what did Moses do? He cried to the Most High and begging the Most High not to kill us all. The Egyptian going to say, hey, you brought us out here to kill him, destroy him, to consume him. And it works. These are the things I look at when I read the Bible. What happened? Okay, how do we come out of it? And our ancestors, Judas Maccabees, mighty warriors, King David, they all said the same thing. Ezra, they all using what happened before that they know, going to the Most High saying, hey, remember this, remember Most High. Remember this, remember that. And it works. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. You gonna tell me you gonna cry, you ain't humble? Ain't no cries come from no prideful people, man. That's why we're in the condition we're in now. He told us, man, the city's gonna be troubled because of great pride, man. And we part of that too. We ain't getting away with nothing. Nobody's getting away with anything. Understand, understand this, man. That's 2 Ezra 15 and 18. When he's talking about martial law, talking about every man hand gonna be against his neighbor for the lack of food. That's what we say. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. We ain't seen this yet. But shall destroy their houses with the sword. Mind of their sword is guns. Coming to your house with guns. You ain't with the Most High. And spoil their goods. Take everything they have because of the lack of bread, because it's food. Come on. And great tribulation, that's what I just said. We just read this in Matthew 24, 21 and 22. Great tribulation, y'all. Verse 22. My right hand shall not spare the sinners. Since y'all say that the Most High hate the sinner, love the sinner. My right hand, that's a Mashiach Yahushua. Where is he at? On the right hand of the Most High. He said his right hand shall not spare the sinners. And my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. Hear that? Y'all gonna get it? Shed innocent blood upon the earth. He says, the fire is gone forth from his wrath. It hath consumed the foundation of the earth. And the sinners, those that break the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, like the straw, fire and straw is going to be consumed. Gonna burn it up real quick. Like the straw that is kindled. Come on. Woe to them, destruction to them that sin. You're going to say we ain't under the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Man, he say, woe, destruction to you that sin. Get this to your preacher and tell them break this down. And keep not my commandments. You hear what he said? Woe, destruction to them that sin. And you look at that, okay, people take it like lightly. Like it's like a little sin or something. That's the mindset of this world. The power of this world have you fooled to think that, oh, it's just a little white sin. Oh, no, black sin, because, black is all wrong. But I guess it'd be a white sin because that's, white is all right. So, white sin, he'll look over that. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's just a little something that you did that was wrong. But, Mosiah is very forgiving and very loving. Man, you got to hear what he's saying. Break this down for me. He say, whoa, that means destruction to them that sin and keep not my commandments, said the Most High. And he's screaming at you. Come on. But Most High, he loves the sinner, but he hates the sin. Y'all out of your mind, man. That's probably why they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. You Protestant church people. Ecclesiastes 12 and 6. It says, "For the Most High hateth sinners." You hear that? For the Most High hateth sinners. The Most High hate those that do not keep his commandments, do not keep his laws. He say he hates you. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the unrighteous and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Y'all better, man. Oh, that's the Apocrypha. I don't believe that. You know what he's talking about? We already said that ain't canon. That ain't real. Okay. Amos 9 and 10. You know about Amos, right? He's a prophet of the Most High. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. I'll read you again. All the sinners, all those that break the commandments of the Most High, all those that break the laws of the Most High, of my people who are the 12 tribes of Israel, shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Come on, man. That's why he said in verse 8, he said, behold, pay attention, y'all. The eyes of the Most High power are upon the sinful kingdom. His eyes upon this sinful kingdom, America, man. And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. The eyes of the Most High upon the sinful kingdom. Remember, the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and even the secret parts. Behold, the eyes of the Most High are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Saving, he gonna save somebody. That I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Who live in the house? The family of Jacob. He said the Most High. For lo, I will command. That's an order, that's a commandment, that's a law, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. We scattered among all nations, like I told y'all in Deuteronomy 28:64. He gonna sift us from all these nations. You know, he's telling you how. He said, "Lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve." You know, he said, put corn in there, you sift it in a sieve, shake it up. Yet shall not the least, us the 1/3 grain fall upon the earth, because 2/3 of our people gonna fall upon the earth. That's why I say the least. That's the 1/3. You hear saying the 1/3 all the time is not gonna fall upon the earth, but the 2/3 are going to be flatlined on this earth. Why? Because they don't want to come back to the Most High. They don't want to come back to the Most High. And it's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a sad day. You don't really realize how serious this is, man. That's why he said in Zechariah 13 and 8, it shall come to pass, a future prophecy, that in all the land, said the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That's 2/3 going to be cut off and die. So y'all talking about the Most High love the sinner and hate the sin. He telling you, all the sinners of my people are going to die by the sword. Okay? And it shall come to pass in all the land that we've been scattered in, said the Most High, he's going to sift us like a seed from among all these nations that we've been scattered in. And it shall come to pass in all the land that the Most High said the Most High, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That's 2/3 of the people going to be cut off and die. But the third shall be left therein. 1/3, that's what I say, 1/3 is going to be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire. We come with fire, y'all, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Most High is my power. That's why you look, and y'all can say that you fit my people if you want to. But last I read, my people is defined right here in Matthew 2 and 6. Y'all believe in the New Testament, you preachers. So when did it change from this? My people. And thou Bethlehem, where Mashiach was born, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee, out of Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, shall come a governor. This is Mashiach Yahushua, that shall rule my people Israel. See? That shall rule my people Israel. My people, you see, my people, it's talking about Israelites over and over again. That's why Matthew 1:21. And she who is married shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Mashiach Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. He said in Matthew 15:24, he gonna save his people from their sins. Who is his people? Matthew 15:24. A lot of y'all try and bring, other nationalities into this. He's clear. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now he tells you in Hebrews 7:14. Come on. I mean, this is him. Speaking of him, y'all say he came from an angel. Angel didn't come from the tribe of, as he said, he came from Hebrews 7:14. Hebrews 7:14. But it's evident, it's a fact, that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, sprang out of Judah. He sprang out of Judah. Jacob, fourth-born son, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood, because the Levites were the priests. But Mashiach Yahushua sprang out of Judah, our forefathers, Jacob's fourth-born son. That's why when you understand this, when you look at Matthew 19 and 16, because I'm really looking at how, I'm looking at how majority of our people have been indoctrinated with Christianity, come from a word in Cretan, which means poor fellow, which means extremely stupid. Look it up for yourself. And when you look at it, you as a Christian, when you start going through, you start looking at all the different topics of life that the Bible brings forth, and the answers that you can get from the Bible, not just somebody running their mouth, but actually going precept upon precept, hour after hour after hour after hour, for whatever it is that you need to deal with, and deal with the word of the Most High and representing Him. They're not doing that. That's why the attention span of most people is just, y'all got an hour. And it's gonna be, y'all understand, y'all not knowing, but it's gonna be, the book's gonna be open. Say, man, you have no time for me. What's they gonna say? You ain't no time for me. I'm not gonna say, I never knew you. Where was I at in Ezra? Where was I at in Daniel's book of Daniel? What? Show me, period. I say I come to the bottom of the book. Show me. Think about it. We in judgment. And he said, show me where I'm at. And you can't. I look in here, all you talk about yourself, me, I. It's just about you. Okay, now, did you inquire about me? Did you really want to know about me? Think about that. Most High, I'm just what I said. I start with the Most High. I mean, you ain't even get your Mashiach Yahushua. We just talk about the Most High. Everybody talk about Israel. Mashiach Yahushua, Ba'ashama Mashiach Yahushua, but everybody mainly talk about Israel. I would say, many gonna come in my name. He told you this. But the man asked him, Matthew 19:16, and behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good things shall I do that I may have eternal life? That's what this is about. Hopefully, for you, that you're gonna fit in those that's gonna make it to eternal life. Because that's what I'm thinking. I mean, why would you even think about anything else except for what you need to do to receive eternal life? Well, you might as well live it up and be thrown in the lake of fire and burn like you gonna burn. If you ain't really looking for eternal life, so he asked him, what do I have to do to receive eternal life? And he said to them, why callest thou me good? He didn't even deal with the fact of what he asked you about eternal life. He said, hey, why you call me good? Check this out. He said, why you call me good? There was none good but one. That is the Most High. But if thou will be enter into life, keep the commandments. Hear that? Keep the commandments, keep the laws of the Most High. He said unto him, which? Mashiach was saying, knowing who he's dealing with, thou shalt do no murder. This is the 10 commandments. Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not murder, kill, murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. See? Man asked him, how can I receive eternal life? Now, he know who he's dealing with. The young man said to him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Mashiach said to him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. He said, hey, go sell what you have and give to the poor. That was the essence. That's the mindset that we as the Essenes had. You're going to be like a Mashiach Yahushua. You're going to be Mashiachim, as it says in 1 Corinthians 3:23. And ye are Mashiachim. Ye are those anointeds. You are the Messiahs, and Mashiach is the Most High. Not nobody belonging to you. Come on. Mashiach said, he said, a lot of people listening. He said this. A lot of people want to put their name there. Maybe, hopefully not. But it's real. Matthew 12:36. He said, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account of thereof in the day of judgment. When he said, you'll be judged what you've done as good and evil. Say, every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified. That's why you got to watch what you say. And by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Straight up. Real for real. Y'all ready for that? That's what he said. By your words you shall be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. This is real serious, man. I want to look at Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 17 and look at Jeremiah 17:5. First and foremost, thus said the Most High, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Most High. Say, cursed be you. Your mind departed from the Most High. You know what? Because that's why verse 9 says, the heart That's the way you think. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Say, who can know it? You see? But when you look at the heart, a lot of people don't realize that we're going to have to give account of what we do and what we say. When that judgment comes, man. That's why I told us Matthew 6:33. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness. So we got to find righteousness, class. His righteousness. Let's go to Psalms 119. Let's do this one. This definition. Psalms 119 and 172. Defining righteousness. Thy tongue shall speak of thy word. My tongue shall speak of thy word. For all thy commandments are righteousness. You see that? So all the commandments of the Most High are righteousness. He gave us moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. But we know that the sacrificial law was done away with, and the Mashiach of Shai gave his precious blood up for the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why it's saying, Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High. The kingdom of the Most High is within us as Israelites, and his righteousness, and his righteousness, and his righteousness. For all those that say we're not under the commandments, we're not under the laws, he's saying, seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness. That's the laws that he wrote with his finger that we read about in the early part of this lesson. And all these things shall be added unto thee. You're going to be blessed. All these things will be added unto you. That's why I say, take therefore no thought of the morrow. Don't worry about tomorrow. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Don't worry about tomorrow. It's ahead of tomorrow will take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. You see? But see, we don't have to deal with the evil. You doing what he say do. He tell you, hey, when you please the Most High, make even your enemies be at peace with you. You just got to do what you got to do so that you can have that peace. And that's pleasing him is do what he say do. Simple as that. Don't follow nobody that say you ain't got to keep his laws, statutes. You ain't got to do what he say do. His laws, statutes, commandments, man, shoot. Since we close by, go to Matthew 15, 5 and 17. Look, Matthew 5:17. You said, think not. Don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. So don't you think I come to destroy the law or the prophets? That's the Old Testament. That's all how much I had to go by. That's why he said, oh, you think that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's the Old Testament. Get us to your preachers. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And he fulfilled what was written about him to suffer for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why it said, and we just read in Matthew 1 and 21. We just read in Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, thou shalt call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. We just read that. Come on. You don't know who his people is? Go back to Exodus 18 and 1. I think that's what I need. Who's his people? Yeah. Exodus 18:1. Jethro, priest of Midian, Salakia. Hold on. When Jethro, Moses, who was Moses' father-in-law, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that the Most High had done for Moses and for Israel, his people. See? Israel, his people. The Israelites, his people. That's why the Bible answers itself. And that the Most High had brought Israel out of Egypt. You see that? So now, that's why I'm going to say his people was his people, the 12 tribes of Israel, from their sins. So going back to Matthew 5 and 17. Matthew 5 and 17. Bear with me. I lost my connection on phone conference. Matthew 5 and 17. You think not, so don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's the Old Testament. He said, I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So what did he come to fulfill? It lets you know in Acts, the 3rd chapter and verse 18. But those things, just a moment. It says, but those things which the Most High before has showed by the mouth of all his prophets that a Mashiach should suffer, he has so fulfilled. He has so fulfilled. That he should suffer, he have so, remember it said, things that he came to fulfill? That he have so fulfilled in suffering for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. So going back to Matthew 5 and 17. Think not. It said, don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. He didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's all he had to go by. Understand this. He said, but verily, he said, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And we just read in Acts 3:18. He came to fulfill what it was that the Most High had him to come to this earth, as we read in Matthew 5, Matthew 5:17. He was sent for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, Matthew 5 and 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. That remember that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High, till all be fulfilled. See? Whosoever therefore, this is for these preachers today, these ministers, whatever y'all call yourself, in these religious organizations, churches, 501c3s and so forth, so whatever you're dealing with. Because most of the churches have your name on it anyway. The name of the church got your name, founded by whoever that pastor is. Think about that. Where the Most High fit in that? Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. The commandments are the laws, y'all. 2. Least commandments, and shall teach men so. I mean, y'all saying we ain't even under the commandments. Y'all ain't under the law. And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. The least in the kingdom of heaven. The least in the kingdom of heaven. Because you teaching we not under the commandments. We're not under the laws. He said you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. And all you just follow them, you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven too. Listen, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy. I'll say it again. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Once again, you can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy. You can see what the laws are. There's no excuse. If you don't know, you can ask somebody. You can ask me. Matter of fact, I have many lessons where I'm going over the laws. Matter of fact, it's entitled on YouTube, Going Over the Laws. Type that in, because generally, initially, when I did it, all my videos would come up. Now, you know, through the algorithm or whatever they're doing to make sure that you don't come back to the Most High. Y'all understand, everything is against you and me. We as the 12 tribes of Israel coming back to the Most High. Understand this, overstand this. But see, if you don't think like what it is that's written in this Bible, and you got your own little train of thought, you know, from your heart, which is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, because you ain't following what's right and righteous, then you're not going to know these things. You're going to just go with the flow. Like a lot of y'all just going with the flow. Do this, y'all going to do it. Don't do this, you ain't going to do it. Most I say, do this, I ain't doing that. You hearing what he say he going to do, he going to melt you. Not me. Oh, he can't melt me. Not, yeah, maybe them, but not me. I'm holier than thou. And don't keep no commandments. Don't you know, can't the Bible says show me the commandments. Can't even show me the commandments at all. That's sad, man. That's our people. That's why 2/3 of our people going to die. And he don't want everybody to get this. I can show you he don't want everybody to be saved. Yo, Jesus don't want everybody to be saved. Y'all think he came for everybody. He didn't. That's why he's saying, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. Just so much like I was telling you this, preachers, and shall teach men so. We ain't under the law, we under mercy and grace. We Gentiles been grafted in, got to run around the church like a chicken with his head off. You got the Holy Ghost. And we under grace. Come on. Ain't no grace to no Gentiles. Grace is only to the 12 tribes of Israel. Wisdom of Solomon 3:9 and Wisdom of Solomon 4:15 proves that his grace and mercy is to his saints. And the saints are the 12 tribes of Israel. Defined in Psalms 148:14. Why he say you're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them the commandments, the laws of the Most High, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. That's why it's so important, man, to know, you know, the Most High ways and thoughts, the little that he's given us. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do that. You can do this. You can eat this, don't eat that. You know, you got to take the time to even look at what you're eating. Look at a loaf of bread. How many ingredients they have in a loaf of bread, man? It's just terrible, man. And we sitting around here thinking that everything is kosher. And even if it do say kosher, is somebody that a bunch of them say called the sin of God of Satan prayed over it. That's kosher. Come on, man. You said that in Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9. Man, that's why the Most High said we're gonna drink poison and live. You know, you can read Leviticus 11 chapter. It'll tell you what's clean and what's unclean. You know, but you got to do some work yourself. You know, we want to be spoon fed, don't have no questions, but yet still, when it comes down, you're gonna scream and holler. I wish I would have, wish I would have, could have. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. You supposed to be knowing. A lot of y'all been in this truth over years. Y'all been for years. What excuse you gonna have when you say, "Hey, why you don't know? You didn't care." But yet still, in your mind, you think you done did enough to make it. Man, none of us done enough to make it. You think like that, hey, you'll be all right. If not, then you just gonna follow what it is that you've been programmed to follow. Straight up. What else you have to look at? Except for yourself. If you don't know what the word of the Most High said, that's why he said. Why I said to you that accept your righteousness. You believe in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, doing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High shall exceed. I mean, you got to exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. He said, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. The scribes and Pharisees, they knew the law. They said the law. That's why they say, do what they say, not what they do. Their actions. That's why a lot of you don't know the actions behind whatever's going on outside from whatever you hear somebody on the internet. Man. We got to know the Most High's laws are not done away with. Proverbs 3 and 5. Proverbs 3 and 5. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. See, he said, lean not unto thine own understanding. A lot of people, they say, hey, what the world say? Follow your heart, follow your mind. We just went through that. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who could know it? The Most High know it. Remember, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and even the secret parts. Ecclesiasticus 3:24. Ecclesiasticus 3:24. In the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 3:24. You see, it's a problem with a lot of us. We've been programmed to follow the way of the world. Where the world say, follow your mind. Follow your mind. Do what you want to do. As long as you don't do anything that's we can find out that you did wrong in our kingdom. Ecclesiastes 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, their own worthless opinion, own worthless thoughts. And an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. Hear that? An evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. They allow the devil to come in to make them make the wrong decision. Straight up. That's the devil coming in, making them make the wrong decision. The evil suspicion, that's the devil coming in, making them make the wrong decision, the wrong judgment. But in the end, you're either going to be blessed or you're going to be cursed. Matter of fact, go back to Proverbs 3 and 1. It said, my son, forget not my law. This proves that the law, just like we went to Baruch 4 and 1, and the commandments are the same. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart, that's your mind, keep my commandments. It says, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Hear that? Keep the commandments of the Most High, do what he say do. For length of days and long life, live a long time. And peace, give you peace. That's why even, with those that are not keeping the Most High's commandments, will take away your peace. When you keep the commandments, say, will give you length of days and long life and peace. So they add to thee. It says, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. You know, mercy is not getting something you do deserve. So, and truth, which we know is keeping of the Most High's laws, statute, commandments, and we just seen in verse 1, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart, let your mind keep my commandments. Verse 3, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. What's on your neck? What's about your neck? Your head. Bind them about thy neck, man. Write them upon the table of thine heart. Write them upon the table, like the Most High wrote the laws upon 2 tables that he gave to Moses. He said, write them upon the table of thine heart, of your mind. Let your mind meditate on this. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High and man. You see that? Sight of the Most High and man. That's why I go to Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Most High told us this was in the wilderness. Deuteronomy 6 and 4. It says, hear, O Israel. It's the first of all the commandments, y'all. Say, hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. It says, and thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thine heart. This is the first commandment, but the first of all the commandments is right there. Hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. And thou shalt love the Most High thy power. This is the first commandment. With all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, shall be in your mind, the way you think. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. You're going to be talking about the Most High's laws, statute, commandments. You see? And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, because it was already built, in houses full of good things which thou fillest not, that was already filled with good things, and wells digged which thou dig not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then beware, he gives us a warning. Then beware lest thou forget the Most High. Then beware lest thou forget the Most High. Once again, then beware lest thou forget the Most High, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. See? What we do, we forgot about the Most High to this day. Like I'm saying, when I started out, I say, hey, show me where they talk about the Most High, even this day. I'm just talking about the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. I ain't talking about Israel. I ain't talking about no other entity but the Most High. He said, hey, then beware. Beware, lest thou forget the Most High, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. You hear that? Fear the Most High means to be afraid, to be scared of him. Don't wait till he visits you. It's too late then. It's too late. Thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other idols, other gods of these nations, other idols, and of the gods of the people which are round about you. The idols of the people that are round about us. Just like that's no different now for you to go amongst all these different religions and serve all these different religions that's around us. You won't find no religion in this Bible. That's what he said. In verse 6, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, be in your mind, and thou shalt teach them the words of the Most High, diligent to thy children, to your children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. The laws of the Most High. I'm telling you. Verse 14, ye shall not go after other gods, other idols, and serve them, serve him, and ye shall not go after other gods, which is idols, or the gods of the people, or the idols of the people, which we read, or I quoted in Psalms 98:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. You should not go after other gods or the gods of the people, which are round about you. See, all these religions dealing with other gods. They ain't dealing with the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name changed to Israel. And Moses said, this is my name forever, a memorial to all generations. 12 tribes of Israel. That's who the power of. But the Most High, that power is a jealous power. Isn't what we started? The Most High power is a jealous power. Ain't that what we started? Yeah. Among you. You see, people playing around, man. When the Most High visit them, they're going to know. Like he said, and you're going to know that I am the Most High. Playing around with the Most High. And the Most High, thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Most High, thy power, be kindled against thee. He already said he's going to melt you. He said, people, what did he say? He said, the people will be fuel for the fire. Lest the anger of the Most High, thy power, be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Kill your butt. You shall not tempt the Most High, your power, as you tempted him in Massah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High, your power, and his testimonies and his statutes, which he have commanded thee. Thou shalt do them, and thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers. Cast out all thy enemies before thee, as the Most High has spoken. You hear that? Cast out all our enemies before us, as the Most High has spoken. Listen, I'm gonna go to 2nd Ezra, 1st chapter. I'm just about finished. I just want to read some of my prophet Ezra, his brother. Let's start at verse 1. And I just want to show you how important he is, the Most High is. And Ezra was one of the main prophets that got more books than anyone. 204 books. 2nd Ezra 1:1. The second book of the prophet Ezra, the son of Sarias, the son of Azarias, son of Hilkiah, the son of Zadamias, the son of Zadok, the son of Akatab, the son of, well, it's going through all these different lineages. Let's go down to verse 3. It says, the son of Aaron of the tribe of Levi, which was captive in the land of the Medes in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of the Persians. So Ezra is in the Persian Mede captivity. Okay. The Persian Mede came after the Babylonians. They took down the Babylonians, Ethiopians. Persian Mede is the East Indians and the Japhetic people. So he's in captivity. Everybody clear with that, right? And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, go thy way and show my people, who are the Israelites that's in captivity, their sinful deeds. You see? How are you going to show them their sinful deeds? And you don't show them how they have broken the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High. And their children, their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. I mean, this goes on and on and on. You hear the same thing, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, but they have forgotten me. See? Now you tell me, now, I came on live, but I didn't have this plan, but the Spirit of the Most High still going where it's going, and it still come back from where we started from. It was all about who? The Most High. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, go thy way and show my people, the 12 tribes of Israel, their sinful deeds, breaking the Most High's commandments, his laws, and their children, their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children. Listen, no different than is being said in Psalms 78 and 5. Same thing. I mean, you can go many places, you're going to see the same thing. Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel. That these wicked Israelites don't want to believe that we still under. Which he commanded our fathers, see if it ain't the same thing, that they should make them known to their children, that the generations to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, from generation to generation to generation, that they might set their hope and their faith in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High. You tell me it ain't important? Why is Jews' name is jealous? And this wrath of the Most High said, I'm going to consume you. Say the people going to be fuel for the fire. He said, I'm going to melt you. That's coming. It might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that kept set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. See? Verse 10, they kept not the covenant. That's the contract, that's the agreement, the laws, special laws that the Most High gave us, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws of the Most High, that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High, and refused to walk in his law. Hear that? Like they talk, that they dealing with now. How the Most High destroyed us and forget his works and his wonders that he showed them. Okay, now let's go back to Ezra. Second Ezra 1, verse 5. Go thy way. This is the Most High telling Ezra, and show my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me. See, this is against him. No matter how you look at man, it's against the Most High. That they may tell their children's children. Say, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods, strange idols, like these religions that are set up now. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath, and despised my counsels. So counsels you getting right now. Pull thou off. This is what he told Ezra. Pull thou off then the hair of thy head. Told him to cut his hair off, and cast all evil upon them. But they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people. So he told him to cut his hair all off and cast the evil upon them. But they have not been obedient unto my law. It's the Most High speaking. But it is a rebellious people. Say, how long shall I forbear them, unto whom I have done so much good? Hear that? See, how long he gonna bear us, into whom he's done so much good? Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Hear that? Many kings have you destroyed for our sake. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them. And in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even of Tyrus and Sidon, Hamites, and have slain all their enemies. Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, thus say the Most High. That's what the Most High is telling us. Straight from his mouth. I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader and Aaron for a priest. I gave you light in a pillar of fire, and great wonders have I done among you. Yet have ye forgotten me, said the Most High. We read earlier. What they do? Made a calf. So this who brought us out of our captivity in Egypt. Thus said the Almighty Power, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, you murmured there. And we said he hear all the murmuring. And triumph not in my name for the destruction of your enemies. But ever to this day do ye yet murmur. So all you out there that murmuring, remember the Most High telling you, he hear your murmuring. He hear what you got, what you're saying. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living power. Hebrews 10:31. You said, hey, matter of fact, Hebrews 12:29. Uh-oh. All praise the Most High. For our power, the Most High, is a consuming fire. Our power, the Most High power, Abraham, is a consuming fire. You play with him if you want to. You better look at some of the news around the world. And all these disasters, these plagues that he's bringing on this earth. They can bring another plague on the earth. Said worse than the first one that you had this time. Y'all better recognize it's from the Most High. He ruled in the kingdom of men. It says, verse 15, thus said the Almighty Power, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, ye murmured there, murmuring, and triumph not in my name for the destruction of your enemies. But ever to this day do ye yet murmur. To this day. Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When ye were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did ye not cry unto me? Just what the Most High loved. And talk about him. He talk about himself. Saying, why hast thou brought us into this wilderness to kill us? It had been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. You can read this. The words we were saying. Then I have pity upon your mournings, crying out in humility, and gave you manna to eat. So you did eat angel's bread. When you were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock and waters flowed out to your field? As much as you could drink, and then some. For the heat, I covered you with the leaves of the trees. I divided among you a fruitful land. I cast out the Canaanites, the parasites, the Philistines before you. What shall I yet do more for you? Said the Most High. Thus said the Almighty Power. When you were in the wilderness, in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name. Hear that? Blaspheming the Most High's name. I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet. Couldn't even drink the water. Cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet. What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? O rebellious Israelites, what shall I do to you? Thou Judah would have not obeyed me. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes. You know, nine tribes was scattered among all the nations. So they're going to turn to them nations. He told them, leave alone. They do idolatry. But he said, I'm going to turn to them. Saying, ye have forsaken me. I will forsake you also. When you desire me to be gracious unto you, I will have no mercy upon you. You better think about that. Grace is getting something you don't deserve. He said, I'm not giving you what you don't deserve. You ain't getting it. Man. Seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When you desire me to be gracious unto you, you want grace. I shall have no mercy upon you. Whensoever ye have called upon me, I will not hear you. For you have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Remember, we were sacrificing our sons and daughters to the idols of Canaan, shedding innocent blood. Well, he said, you have committed manslaughter. Ye have not, as it were, forsaken me. He said, ye have not, as it were, forsaken me, the Most High said, but your own selves, said the Most High. Thus said the Almighty Power. Have I not prayed you as a father his sons, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes, that ye would be my people, and I should be your power, that ye would be my children, and I should be your father? I gathered you together as a hen gathered her chickens under her wings. But now, what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face. When you offer unto me, I'm going to cast you away out of my face. When you offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions have I forsaken. I send unto you my servants, the prophets, all our feast days, new moons, all that he forsaken them. He said, I send unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain. So I sent you to his servants, the prophets, and we took them and killed them. We killed the prophets. And torn their bodies in pieces. You hear that? Not only killed, but tore their bodies in pieces. Whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. Thus said the Almighty Power. Your house is desolate. And that land over there is desolate, y'all. I will cast you out as the wind does stubble. That's cold. It's real, though. That's why he said, Psalm 78. Verse 12 said, marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea, he caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as an heap. Had the water on this side, water on that side, went through dry land, dry ground. In the daytime, also he led them in a cloud, with a cloud. That's what Mashiach was shot in. That cloud is the top angel of the Most High. And all the night with light of fire. We proved that. Go to 1 Corinthians 10th chapter. Ooh, that's a Mashiach Yahushua. But he is an angel, top angel of the Most High. Just we talking about the Red Sea and Most High part of the Red Sea and so forth, and led us in a cloud, a chariot by day, and a fiery chariot at night. It says in 1 Corinthians 10:1, moreover, brethren, I would not have that ye should be ignorant, not knowing how that all our fathers, as our forefathers, were under the cloud. That cloud, he said, he led us by a cloud. And all passed through the sea. That's what we're just reading about. That's why I said when you read the New Testament, there's no New Testament. It's only the Old, the law, and the prophets, man. He's just giving you more understanding of what they had to go by when they walked here, like with us right now, you know. And we're all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. What it's talking about, what we've been going over as far as dealing with Moses and we the children of Israel. It said, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, we had the same spiritual understanding, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, drank the same spiritual understanding. For they drank of that spiritual rock, that spirit, that's Mashiach Yahushua, that's a spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach Yahushua. There it is. I mean, it ain't him in the flesh, it's him as an angel. The angel of the Most High, the spirit of the Most High. Point blank. You see? That's him. Verse 9 says, neither let us tempt the Mashiach, as some of them in the wilderness also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. So you read about the serpents killing us, poison snakes killing us. It's like, you know, it's a Mashiach Yahushua right there. Neither let us tempt the Mashiach, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. That's when he say, think not that I come to destroy the, you think not that I come to set peace on earth, but a sword. In Matthew 10:34, when he tell you in Revelation 19:11, coming to judge and make war, he the destroyer. Straight up. Yeah, I know how to do it. Going back to Psalm 78 and 14, it said, in the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. That's what Mashiach Yahushua, just telling you, leading us. And when he stopped, then we stopped to put our tents up and stayed there until the chariot moved again. He brought streams out, also out of the rock, and caused waters to run down like rivers. Same thing we read in Ezra. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness, you see. And they tempted the Most High in their heart by asking meat for their lust. That was them quails that he gave. He just told us, when you look at the same story, like people was trying to say that the Apocrypha don't fit with this, the 66 books that the Christians have. No, you see it fits right together. It says, yeah, they spake against the Most High. They said, can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? It's us. Can he provide flesh for his people? Murmuring. Therefore the Most High heard this. Remember, his name was jealous. He heard everything. Therefore the Most High heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, because all 12 tribes of Israel, all of us were in the wilderness. And anger also came up against Israel because they believed not in the Most High and trusted not in his salvation. That's powers and authority. He was bringing us into a land, giving us powers and authority. Though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven and had rained down manna upon them to eat and had given them of the corn of heaven, man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow into heaven. And by his power, he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust. and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. It's the Most High, y'all. This is what he did for us. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations, everywhere we could see. Nothing but, he said you couldn't even see the ground. It was full of quails everywhere. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. So they did eat and were well filled, for he gave them their own desire. Whatever we desired, man. They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them. I tell y'all better not be eating all that much. As this famine comes, he killed the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. See that? It was off, man. Because murmuring, the ones that the fattest ones probably was the one that was complaining the most. They gotta have a lot to eat. And he killed them while he said while they was eating that quail in their mouth, probably tasting good. They probably had a lot of them that was eating, wait till they get full. Eating and chewing. And he took them out. For all this, they sin still. Seeing this. You gotta understand, we seeing this happen. Well, we done seen all the plagues that he did to the Egyptians. 10 plagues. And in the end, he said, Pharaoh gonna let you go now. I'm gonna kill every firstborn. The Egyptians. Everything. Every firstborn, everything gonna die. And they let him go. Because he was doing it to get him a name. You understand? If y'all don't understand, all that's gonna happen in this earth in these last days is to get the Most High a name. But he got a name then, but now he don't have a name now. He's not really, that's what I'm saying. Who really is talking about him? Who? But he gonna get him a name that's gonna be so powerful, ain't nobody ever gonna forget him. That's why I say he gonna be all in all. When he said he putting Mashiach's enemies under his footstool. Not a Mashiach, but the Most High. He gonna come to judge and make war, but the Most High gonna put Mashiach's enemies under his footstool. That's what David said in Psalms 110:1. The Most High said unto my power, who is a Mashiach Yahushua, sit thee on my right hand. So Mashiach Yahushua sit on the right hand of the Most High until the Most High make Mashiach Yahushua's enemies his footstool. He gonna rule for 1,000 years. Then he gonna be subject to the Most High, and the Most High gonna be all in all. That's what this is all about. Take it or leave it. That's what this is what it's all about. See, like it tells you right here in verse 35, it says, verse 32 said, for all this, all the things that he done, they sin still and believe not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity. They mean nothing. And their years in trouble to this day in captivity. When he slew them, then they sought him. He got to kill us over and over again for us to seek him. See, when I got to the lesson on that, I was going into it, and this is gonna next thing you know, it was an hour like it has been this time. I was in 2 hours. And I had to entitle it, "The Most High got our attention by death." Most High got the Hebrew Israelite attention by death. That's what it said. When he slew them, when he killed us, then they sought him. And they returned and inquired early after the Most High. They remembered that the Most High was their rock, and the high power their redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, running their mouth. Yeah, praise the Most High, praise the Most High. We love you. We're going to do what you say do. And they lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart, their mind was not right with him. Neither were they steadfast in his covenant. That's so important, man. That contract, them laws that he gave us, man, the commandments that he gave us. You got to hear this, man. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity, our wickedness, and destroyed them not. As you heard Moses cry out to the Most High, we're going to destroy all of us. He said, I'll raise up a nation out of you, Moses. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, did not stir up all his wrath. But remember that they were but flesh, a wind that passes away. You hear that? We ain't nothing but a wind that passes away and cometh not again. These fleshly bodies ain't coming back no more. How often did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? You hear that? We grieved him. So we made him cry. Yet they turned back and tempted the Most High and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remember not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. Their hand is a Mashiach Yahushua. They remember the Most High when he delivered us from the enemy. So these are the things that I look at that is very important for us as a people, you know, to look at. Read all of this. Read all the chapters about the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. He's talking, you know. But due to time constraint, I'm going to stop right now. And I want you to just meditate on this, because his name is jealous. And when he visits you, hopefully he'll visit us with his compassion, his mercies, his grace, his long suffering, and not his wrath, his indignation, his fury, his anger. Because you're doing what's right. You're doing what's right in his eyes. But you can't think you're right in your own eyes, and then you be checked for not being, you know, concerned about him. His name is jealous, and you find yourself in his grips, in his hand, and you ain't gonna get out of his hand. Ain't nothing nobody can do for you once you're in the hand of the Most High. Whether he's gonna be blessing you or he's gonna be tearing your butt up. Anyway, you look at it. That's why it behooves anyone hear my voice right now, start talking about the Most High. And with that, I'm out. Shalom.